Hey guys, I've been in Europe for 7 months backpacking around, and I got back a few days ago and I brought back with me 5 Harry Potter wands that I made while I was on my trip. I made these 5 out of different timbers that I found along the way. Most of the timbers I think are out of the books. The first one that I made is cherry wood. Sort of reminds me of the Noble Collection Harry Potter wand with the bark handle. I carved a spiral into the handle, if you can see there. And it's got quite a yellowish colour to it. I got the timber from a farm in France that I stayed at. It was a cherry sapling and it was dead, and I pulled it out of the ground and started whittling away. Now, you can see the shine on it, and you can see the shading, hopefully. What I did there was I painted that shading on with watered down paints, and then I coated the wand in 2 coats of matte clear lacquer. This wand, if it was a real Harry Potter wand, I would say the core would be probably dragon heartstring. Really cool feel to it. The second one that I made is made out of hazelnut wood, and if you can see, the handle is a phoenix head. The eyes and the other patterns are carved into it, and I've painted some shading into the indented areas too. The beak is a different colour because I actually cut this piece of timber from live from the bush that it was growing on, and this branch was already dead when I cut it off. Then I dried out the timber for the rest of it, and fortunately this part stayed brown, whereas the other didn't go brown. The other part didn't go brown, it stayed white. So the contrast between those 2 colours is really nice. I like the way it stands out. It's a lot thinner than the first wand, and I really like the way it feels on my hand. I like the hook feel around that finger. The third wand that I made is the longest wand. Now it's made out of elderberry wood. I cut it live from the bush as well. It's got a bit of a curve in the length, like the Slughorn wand by Noble Collection. And in the handle, it's got an old man's face carved into it, and his mo intertwines down the handle. The hardest part out of all the wands to carve is definitely this part of this wand, the ball in the center. Took me a while to perfect. And it's also got a touch of Remus Lupin's wand by the Noble Collection in the handle here, how it's all rough and sort of jagged looking. I really like that look. I've used it in a couple of my wands. If this was a real Harry Potter wand, I would say the core, probably unicorn tail hair. The core for this one, I would say definitely phoenix feather because of the phoenix handle. The fourth one that I made is this one. It's got a skull carved into the handle with a nice little pattern on the back. Black shading, and it's also got that Remus Lupin roughed up part before it comes up to the straight shaft. It's got a bit of a curve to it. And the handle kind of reminds me of one of the Weasley wands, except I think the Weasley wand goes that way and the wand goes down from there, whereas mine I flipped upside down, just because I like the way it feels in the hand more. If this had a core, I would say thestral hair. I don't even know if they use thestral hair, but it's a dark wand, so let's say thestral hair. The fourth one that I made, fifth one, sorry, is holly. And I cut it live from the tree, and I had a vine growing through here, and I cut the vine out, and I carved a leather strap into it, painted it brown. I really like this one. This is my favourite wand. If I was to choose one of the 5 wands, I would choose to have this one. It had a few branches here, and I carved a spiral up through the branches and whittled the branches down to little knobby areas. Feels really cool when you hold it. Really cool. And it's got a nice weight. Heavier than all the other ones. If this one had a core, I would say definitely phoenix feather. I know Harry's wand in the book is holly and phoenix feather, but I'm not trying to make it a cliche. I just think that's what it would be. The timber from this wand, the holly wand, I got in Spain. I was staying in a villa in this country village, and I was cutting a path through the rainforest there, and there was this really weird holly tree that was growing there that didn't look like it belonged there. So I cut a piece from that. I got the wood for this wand. It's vine wood. It's actually ivy. And I know Hermione's wand in the books is made out of vine, and I got that from Spain too when I stayed at that villa. Overall, I really like this collection. I actually made 7 of them altogether, but I gave 2 of them away to a couple of mates of mine who I stayed with in London. They were really nice putting me up for a while, so they liked my wands, so they requested 2, 1 each, so I made them. I'll put photos of those up at the end of this video, because I took a few before I left. Anyway, thanks for watching my YouTube video. Leave comments below and subscribe. Thank you.